What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp, Fightful, here with a name you know. Man, as he bursts on the scene on WWE Raw, Julius Creed, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, I was talking to Ivy earlier, and I was like, I first met you guys in Nashville at the tryouts. Things have changed a little bit since then.
Yeah, a little bit. Around that time, we were probably closer to trying out than we were to being on the main roster, but, it's weird how life goes sometimes. Sometimes it feels like everything's different, but at the same time, day-to-day feels like everything's the same, and then you look back over a period of time and your life's completely different, and this is definitely one of those things. Things move at like supersonic speed in WWE, that's for sure.
Naturally, with the skill set that your brother and yourself have, the question is MMA or pro wrestling. I know for you that has been maybe both at times, especially considering who you've trained with in the past. Now, it is much more of a reality than it even was a couple years ago. Not because of your skill set or anything like that, but because TKO has UFC and WWE under the umbrella. I would love to know your reaction when you started to hear that, because having spoken to you before, I know that was something you had at least had in your mind.
Yeah, I had this idea driving down last night. Man, if I get a question on Media Day, I'm going to spin it as anybody that works for TKO, anybody that works for Endeavor can get it. And you rained on the party a little bit.
John Anik's getting it.
He can get it. Whoever can get it. But yeah, it's been a lifelong dream. I take a lot of pride in living my life, not sound cliche, but like no regrets, the tattoo and everything.
Yes.
But
none?
In a way that I look back and, I'm proud of everything I did. In 2020, when I decided to come back and wrestle again on the Olympic scene, my older brother said, man, are you sure you want to do that? It broke your heart. It was like, the worst breakup you could go through. And I said, yeah. I said, because I can live with that again. I can live with knowing I wasn't good enough on a given day. I said, but I don't think I can live with not knowing. And I want to seek the truth. And that's one of those things that I'm curious where I fall. And maybe I'll go out one time at some point and take a fight and then go, you know what? I know where I fall now and I don't want to do this ever again. Or maybe it's something I love, but like I said, I kind of want to live my life with no regrets. So
I mean, I would pay for a full pay-per-view of just like Julius, Brutus, Gable wrestling against UFC stars too, like doing grappling, stuff like that. That's an actual possibility now. That's wild to think.
It is. It seemed like it was so far-fetched. What you were alluding to is my time out at AKA with Daniel Cormier,
yes.
Luke Rockhold, Cain Velasquez. I spent some time in Oklahoma City with Rafael Lovato Jr. I'm still in touch with a lot of those guys. And the plan at the time was always like, man, you can always make a big name in the WWE and then come over to fight after if you want to. But if you fight, you can't always jump over.
Yeah.
And now the fact that both are real possibilities and everything's kind of come to light. I remember it's probably 2018, July or so, maybe June. I took a picture of Daniel Cormier had, obviously, his UFC, at the time it was the light heavyweight title, and he also had a WWE title at his house. I took a picture of them together and I said decisions. And then when the TKO Endeavor merger and everything got announced, I reposted that again. Because it's like, man, like my life's kind of come full circle and it's maybe opened a couple doors that I thought were closed, but they might be open again. But right now, I'm super passionate about what I'm doing. I'm excited to be on the WWE front. There's a lot to accomplish in this world right now. So if I did hop over too soon, I think I would have some regrets on this front. So.
Okay. You guys are killing it on Raw. I love it. I talked to Brutus about the finisher earlier. And I was like, how do you even pitch that to somebody to do to the first time? And he said, well, it was probably like Nash Carter and Wes Lee, so it wasn't that hard. But as you're doing that, as you're seeing it for the first time, and you're watching your larger physically brother fly through the air towards somebody on your shoulders, what goes through your mind?
Heavier brother.
Heavier brother.
I'm bigger
You're
in
taller.
frame. I'm bigger in stature. Man, just... it's kind of like what we were talking about before. It is such an abstract thought, but for some reason in this life that we've lived, it feels right, it feels calm, and I don't know why. It started with him doing the cannonball the one time at Stand and Deliver when we needed to wipe people out. He needed to wipe a bunch of people out. Does he do something that we've seen before? No, he's like a chubby kid jumping in the pool and he goes into a cannonball, and it worked. He's like a big bowling ball. And then, there was an opportunity in one match. I got somebody up on the shoulders, and instead of doing something, doomsday or something like most people would do, he decides to jump on him and partially me in the process. And it's just kind of the story of our lives. Like, a lot of the things that we do, you look back on and you're like, man, that was just so stupid. There was a time when we were probably 8 years old. We went to a high school football game. It had been raining like crazy, and there was a hill that the fans could watch on. Him and I stripped down to our underwear, and we went sliding down the hill, and we were completely muddy. My parents drove the car next to us and made us walk home.
Oh, no.
And afterwards, we're thinking, man, why the hell did we do that? But at the time, it was a lot of fun, and I think that's kind of what I'm thinking when someone's on my shoulders and the vanilla gorilla's flying off the top rope at us. It's like, man, this is a lot of fun, because it is, and we're passionate, and we're having a lot of fun with what we're doing.
As we wrap up, almost everybody can identify as a kid winning the tag titles with their brother, their cousin, their best friend, even their sister now, which I think is really awesome. You are on the cusp of perhaps achieving that specifically, of sharing that type of moment with your brother. How does that feel? Because you all killed it in that tag title match.
We appreciate that. Yeah, I think, life is about shooting for a goal and working relentlessly and giving your all to get there. And then whether you actually attain it or not isn't necessarily the important thing. It's about the lessons you learn along the way. And that was a message I reiterated to him in 2020 when he called me sobbing when I was in a wrestling room in Raleigh, North Carolina, because the NCAA tournament had just got canceled. He was 30-0 and supposed to be the NCAA champ. And I told him, I said, man, if the best thing we take away from these moments in life are materialistic accolades that sit on a shelf and collect dust, then I think we missed the main message of life. And sure enough, my big brotherism came back to bite me in the butt 2 weeks later when they canceled the Olympic trials, which I didn't think was going to happen. And I didn't get to chase that dream. But yeah, we're on the cusp of some really, really big things. Personally, I think we're going to achieve them, and then some more. I think we're going to achieve it multiple times over. But more importantly, I'm excited for what that gets us ready for. My college coach used to always tell us, like, man, we're getting you ready for life so that when you get that call that your grandma's sick and she's in hospice care and you got to make that 8-hour drive, that you can do it and you can be the type of man your family needs. And or we were in Portland not too long ago. I got a call that I was going to have to put my longtime dog down, and man, that was a gut punch. That sucked. But doing the hard things when we don't necessarily want to do them all the time in order to prepare for a title match, we're choosing suffering in those moments so that when life hits us with some unchosen suffering, we'll hopefully be able to rebound and keep things together and keep moving for our loved ones in our lives and provide a better way of life for everybody.
Julius Creed, thank you so much. I look forward to doing these a lot with you, my friend.
Looking forward to it as well. Thank you.
Till next time, guys. We're out.
There is no product that we have promoted more on Fightful that I use while I'm awake than NordVPN.com/Fightful. You guys have probably seen me anchored to my desk an awful lot for quite a while, and I've always got NordVPN on all my devices. That's because that's what NordVPN.com/Fightful allows. You get the fastest VPN in the world on all your devices, on all your operating systems. It is so beneficial to have that versatility. Here at home, I put it on my router just in case, and I put it on my phone, laptop, desktop, PC, and smart TV. That allows you to get all the benefits. The online threat protection, the ability to change your virtual location with just one click, the ability to use that NordPass password manager, the file encryption tool, all that good stuff on everything. Also, you can subscribe to all those overseas services I'm telling you all about, all with 24/7 tech support and a 30-day money-back guarantee on top of an already amazing deal. Protect yourself on all your devices with NordVPN.com/Fightful.